About 2.5 years ago, I spent over $1,000 at Harbor Freight on Hercules power tools. So in this video, we're gonna review all the tools that I bought, the good stuff, the bad stuff, the mid stuff. Here's the entire tool lineup I'm going to be reviewing. We're gonna start with the Hercules leaf blower, the Hercules 1/2-inch drill bit, the 1/2-inch impact gun, and then the chucked 3/8 impact gun, along with the long reach 3/8 ratchet with a variety of batteries. The video is not sponsored by Harbor Freight or anyone. So I was at Harbor Freight and I picked up one wireless tool here, and I was pretty impressed with the performance of it. And honestly, I went with all of this stuff because I wanted to simplify the charging system. The batteries are typically more expensive than the actual tool, so I think we'll start the video by talking about the charging system and what batteries I have. We'll start with the cheapest battery they make for the Hercules power tool system. We're going to measure the batteries from the amp hours, or AH. This is the 2 amp hour battery here I'm holding in my hand. It is very compact and lightweight with a limited amount of voltage or runtime for your tool. This is probably the most common size for the Hercules power tool range, and it's a 5 amp hour battery. I think it's the perfect blend of weight and runtime for your tool. The 8 amp hour battery is next on the list. Now this one does have substantially more runtime than the 5 amp hour battery, but it does come with the compromise of weighing quite a bit more than the 5 amp hour battery, and it does cost a pretty penny more. So if I was to do this again, I would buy a whole bunch of 5 amp batteries, because the 8 amp, most expensive one, adds almost 3 pounds of weight to your cordless tool, and that really does add up. But let's talk about the charging system, and it's pretty simple. This charger does the 12 volt and the 20 volt. Primarily, the larger tools use the 20 volt, like the Cordless Impact. The electric ratchets run on the 12 volt system, which means you need to buy another battery, but not another charger. It's not a particularly fast charger, but you kind of get what you pay for, and it does its job. Pretty straightforward, red, green. It's not slow, it's not fast, it does what you need it to do. Hercules makes a tremendous amount of cordless tools and corded tools, but I'm just gonna run through the ones I use from least to most. While Hercules offers an incredible variety of cordless tools, there's a ton of them you don't need, and there's a ton of them you do need. So we're gonna start with the cell phone adapter charger. It simply hooks onto the Hercules battery and allows you to get a USB-A so you can charge your phone or other devices. Now, pairing this up to the 8 amp hour battery, it only charges your cell phone about 3 times. So you could definitely live without this tool, but it was in the clearance aisle for $9, so I picked it up. Next on the chopping block is the Hercules leaf blower. It's a compact, small leaf blower. It's not particularly powerful. The only reason I don't use this quite as frequently is because it's not particularly powerful, and I replaced it with this absolute bazooka of a leaf blower, because a leaf blower is kind of one of my favorite tools ever, because I don't have to get an air compressor out to blow things around. The compact size of this leaf blower does make it pretty darn cool. It comes with a variety of attachments that I have lost, but it does work good to fill up air mattresses while camping or floaties down the river. It features 3 speed adjustments, 1, 2, 3, and you can lock the trigger into place. Depending on the battery you equip this leaf blower with, depends on how long it's going to run. With the 8 amp hour battery, it'll probably run for about 5 to 10 minutes total. With the 2 amp hour battery, it doesn't have the longest duration. Around the house, light duty use, it's absolutely incredible. I use it for car repair, or used to use it for car repair quite frequently, so I didn't have to hook up the compressor. This would be my primary recommendation for anyone leaf blower curious due to the simple size of this leaf blower. We're gonna say it's quiet, it's quiet. Moving on down from least used to most used, we have the Hercules wireless drill. This is the 1/2-inch drill. I highly recommend not buying any drill with a 3/8 chuck because you're gonna run into certain drill bits not fitting inside of it. This Hercules 1/2-inch drill is rated to 1200 inch-pounds. Now, high torque drills are very dangerous because they can snap your wrist. The performance of the Hercules 1/2-inch drill does everything I need it to do. I couldn't justify spending any more money on a drill because basically spinning things, we don't need super precise control. When it comes to the next 3 tools on the list, it may be worth your hard-earned money to buy more expensive tools for a reason I'm about to talk about on the next tool. The 20-volt brushless cordless 1/4-inch compact impact driver. So keep in mind this is tool only, price on the screen $69. So this one does have the convenience of being able to change the chucks on it between 1/4-inch, 1/2-inch, and 3/8 inch. Now personally, these are not my favorite style of impact guns, but this one is half decent. It does have some lights and a clip. Pairing this up with the 5 amp-hour battery, it's pretty compact and lightweight. So let me explain to you why it's not my favorite. Oftentimes with this gun, I can find it not strong enough to take big bolts off. So I'm testing it out on some lug nuts, and this isn't a good test because it's my personal car and those lug nuts are torqued to 80 foot-pounds. When you find rusty old fasteners, this gun cannot be quite powerful enough. It's rated to 2200 inch-pounds or this many foot-pounds. The major complaint with this impact gun, number one, I personally think impact guns with the chuck built in are better. So this should be like a 3/8 or 1/4-inch gun, probably 3/8. It doesn't have the most precise trigger control. I used to be a flat rate mechanic, and a lot of times this is your final torque wrench, and it's hard to regulate the torque going into the bolts with this gun. It feels like it's too little or too much. That being said, you should be putting a ratchet on it at the very least, if not a torque wrench when tightening stuff down. So prime example, when tightening these hose clamps on the intake pipe, I clearly over torqued it right here. With a more precise, expensive trigger, let's take a look at the big brother impact gun of the last one. While there's a wide variety of 20-volt brushless cordless 1/2-inch impact guns at Harbor Freight, we're going to be taking a look at this one coming in at $179. In the mid-range of torque, it's rated to 700 foot-pounds, which is plenty adequate for taking off lug nuts, but I have run into the problem of this impact gun not having enough torque. Pairing this big boy up with the 8 amp-hour battery, it comes in almost 9 pounds, 8 pounds and 8 ounces. So this can get pretty darn heavy. So that's why I keep recommending you guys get the 5 amp-hour battery to keep the weight down. 1 pound is quite the difference when you're talking about a tool. The 1/2-inch impact gun definitely gets more use than the removable chuck one for the simple reason it's so nice not to pump up an air compressor and be able to take the wheels off the car. So keep in mind in this video, these were short little demonstrations, but I've been using this 1/2-inch impact gun for years. I would primarily use it on basic work like removing tires. It does come a little bit short from time to time as far as all-out power, and they do have a more expensive version with higher torque. Case in point is, I don't have B-roll for this, but crank bolts. Oftentimes this gun will not take crank bolts off. Last but not least, actually my favorite tool out of them all, I don't know how I could ever go back to not having one of these. And here it is, the long reach ratchet. This thing has saved me so much time and headache. It's absolutely incredible. I would have 5 of these if I was a professional flat rate dealership mechanic again, 1/4 inch, 3/8. This one, the Hercules one, the long reach one, is 3/8. I'm not working on so many cars anymore, so I just put a little adapter on it for 1/4 inch. The shape, the geometry, the ergonomics of the long reach ratchet are incredible. It does come short as far as the trigger control. When I'm tightening 14mm tiny modern spark plugs, I'm a little bit afraid because this thing can send quite a bit of torque into the bolt itself. But that being said, considering the price, super good value, guys. I totally recommend the Hercules stuff. I actually love Harbor Freight. It's my favorite store ever.